Joining us now is Narendra Singh Bundela, IG of the National Disaster Response Force. Sir, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to NDTV. Could you give us a situation update at Balasore?
So, as we know, it's been more than 24 hours now after that tragic incident, and National Disaster Response Force had deployed 9 teams. They are already working there. Apart from that, State Disaster Response Force of Odisha government, local police, administration, medical team, volunteers, and all other resources of the government machinery, including railways, defense, they are all contributing for saving the victims and taking out the dead bodies. So removal of dead bodies is almost complete, and so far 261 dead bodies, as per the data received from the state government, has been recovered, and more than 1,000 persons have been injured. And DRF has recovered 44. They have saved 44 lives. They have been shifted to the hospital, and 95 dead bodies have been recovered. So 1 or 2 bogies which were really damaged very badly, and the accessibility was a problem. We are finally working on that. If any furthermore dead bodies are there beneath that coach, that still we need to see, and then we can finalize the figure also.
Right, Mr. Bundela, tell us what was the most difficult part of the operation here. Each operation has its challenges, but the scale of this tragedy was enormous. What was perhaps the most difficult part here, and can you confirm that all rescue operations are over in terms that no one is stuck inside any of those mangled bogies?
So, considering the scale of damage, the number of bogies involved, and they flipped, overturned, derailed, and the extent, the area it had covered, that was the main challenging task for the NDRF and other rescuers working there. And especially that these coaches were almost full, and we have to recover the live victims also, as well as there were a lot of dead bodies also. So we have to work in between them, and we have to prioritize, because the priority is to save the live victims so that they can be saved, and then second priority is to extricate the dead bodies. That is one. Secondly, in such type of accidents where these coaches are of metal, cutting them, entering them, when it is really damaged so badly, accessibility may be a problem. So with special cutters, we have a special cutters equipment to approach and go inside. But in some of the coaches, it may take time to go inside and retrieve the live victims also. So that can also be a challenge. So, and thirdly, in train accidents, unfortunately, in this case, it was not so. If it happens in a remote area, then accessibility may be a problem. There may be a problem in sending the team, rescuers, medical team, but since it happened in the railway station, so fortunately at least teams were there, they were quickly deployed, all the resources of the state government, central government were deployed immediately, and we could start working then and there that incident had happened.
Mr. Bundela, can you narrate the emotional state of some of your men, those who work on these kind of situations? It's obviously extremely disturbing to be there in that situation, and the kind of remains that one sees of victims there. Very difficult emotionally. Can you take us through, the state of mind of your men as well as other relief workers there, and how do you deal with that kind of trauma?
So I totally agree about your observation, because in such of serious disasters where we see a lot of live victims, even in live victims and dead bodies, it becomes quite traumatic for the rescuers also. So we are aware of it, and we include those things in our training program also, and so that our rescuers are mentally well prepared. That is one. Secondly, we also focus on meditation and yoga in our training program, and also psychological counseling. Once these teams are back, we provide them with some sort of medication, some sort of psychological counseling with the experts also, so that they are able to overcome the trauma and they can contribute more positively.
And in terms of victims and those families, sir, what do you do to console them? We saw several of them were in shock, did not know where those they were traveling with were. Some of them were searching for their relatives. How do you console them at that stage? How difficult it is, and how long does it take for them to actually find their relatives and and rejoin families that were possibly traveling together on that train?
So in such operation, the first priority is to take out the live victim. We give them first aid if medical help from outside is not there, so that their life can be saved. And if person is able to talk, then we also try to discuss, negotiate, counsel also that person. And there will be other NDRF personnel who will take care of that person till that person is taken care of by the local administration medical team. So counseling also becomes a very important part for NDRF for victims. So we talk to them, listen to their grievance, and try to help in whatever possible way we can do at such situation.
Was there one story above all that perhaps shook you or took your note in this tragedy over the last 24 hours that you've been there?
So there have been many tragic incidents or stories have been coming. So it will be very difficult to point out even a single one, because many more stories and narration will come forward slowly through media, through our NDRF personnel also, because our personnel are totally engaged with the rescue operation. So we still need to get in touch with them and take feedback from them. Right now, it's about saving the live victims.
So NDRF's task is over now? Now it's handed over to others to take it forward, or you still have something left there?
We still have some time because we are still working there. And last two coaches which were really damaged badly, they still suspect that there may be some dead bodies inside that. We are trying to access that. My local team is there. Once I get the confirmation from them, we will definitely share with the media also. And finally, it is the local district administration, who are the nodal authority for disaster handling. They need to take a final call, and accordingly, operation can be wound up.
So you're saying that there may still be some trapped in those mangled debris in the last few bogies that are still there. Thank you so much, Mr. Bundela, for joining us, and all the best for all the work that you're doing there.